To be honest, this ain't for me, like, for real. Girl, I speak my mind. Who you talking to? I mean, just speaking after it, like, you know.
What's up, guys? I'm back to you with another video today. And welcome to my channel. So, what's the topic for today? I don't know. And you notice I have my handy dandy little scarf on. And I love this scarf. I wish I had used it like during the last video. Couldn't find it. And I like the lighting is really good. As you can see, like I can barely open my eyes. You know, I'm not high at all. Like at all. So, but yeah. The topic for today is about social anxiety or social depression. Or being social is like so hard sometimes, like, to be honest. I am such an antisocial person, and so this video is just gonna be kind of like, I don't know, a rant or just talking about it. And like for me, depression literally just comes out of nowhere. I can literally, like, it's so annoying sometimes because it's like nothing really has to set me off for me to get depressed. I could be sitting down reading a book and all of a sudden depressed, and I feel depressed. Like, this is how I know that I'm depressed. I know when I'm depressed when I'm literally laying down, and when I'm depressed, I don't want to get up, I don't want to see people, I don't want to talk to anyone. And you know, like for some people, I think the reason that they don't want to see people or talk to people when they're depressed is because like they don't want to explain, you know, like why they're depressed. And for me, that's one of my concerns as well. Like, oh, this sun, oh brother, this sun, I'm trying to put up with it for the good light. Shoot. It's like when I get depressed, I don't want to talk about it because it's like I don't know how to explain it. And I feel like when you don't explain things right, people get so annoyed with you. Like, okay. It's like, I am never recording in the sun again. It's like, ever. I get depressed, and like for me to explain myself to someone or open up about it, I get anxious. And even like, that's one of the reasons why I'm so antisocial as well. Like, I get so anxious so quickly. Like so easily. You know, like I could be smiling and stuff. Like, I try to play it off like with a smile and laugh. That's one of the reasons why, like, I smile and laugh a lot. But you know, I'm not saying it's not a genuine smile or a laugh. It is a genuine smile or a laugh, but it's more of a nervous, you know, it's kind of like a resorting to a smile or laugh just to make things like kind of like not awkward, you know, like not awkward. But you know, sometimes it doesn't always work. Because it's like, you know, my thing is like when I meet people for the first time, like I need to get to know you first. Like, I am the type of person, I like to watch certain things. I like to take my time, step away from a situation and actually look and analyze that situation, or like, you know, see it from a bigger picture before I get myself involved. I don't know, I'm just a cautious person like that. With everything, I'm just cautious like that. I have to take my time to think about it before I get into it. Sometimes when I meet people for the first time, it doesn't really go the way I want it. It doesn't sometimes go the way I want it to go. Like, I try to be nice and friendly. From the beginning, and you know, it happens a lot easier if, you know, I can connect with that person. Let's say we have something in common. let's say we have something in common, then I can connect to that person. It makes it easier to like joke around, smile, laugh, those kind of things. When you have like depression as well, like, you know, like some people, okay, like for me, when I'm depressed, I just want to stay home. I don't want to go out anywhere. I don't want to see anyone. You know, it's not to say that I hate people, although, you know, I kind of do dislike people. But it's not to say like I hate people in general. It's just I don't want people to see me this way, because I do have my days when I'm boisterous, when I'm positive, when I'm full of life. You know, it's not an everyday occurrence, but I do have those days. When I do feel that way, when I feel boisterous and stuff and happy and da-da-da-da, people don't want to, you know, they don't want to mess with it, because it's like they think it's bipolar or you're being fake or something like that. And I don't want people to see me that way. I don't. Like, I know I shouldn't care what people think and just live my life, but when it comes down to it, like, I don't know. I want to say, like, it's okay to be depressed, because, you know, we're humans and we go through stuff and we experience, like, you know, different things and, you know, whatever. But you should always try to like keep your mind off of depression. Like when you're depressed, you should always try to like pull yourself away from depression. It's not easy to do sometimes as well. Like they'll like if you go on the internet, or if you know go on one of those blog sites that says I'm depressed, what to do. They always tell you, say, you know, reach out and speak to someone about it. But it's like, for me, if I was to reach out and speak to someone about it, I don't know where to start. They also tell you to get up and get moving, because, you know, when you're depressed, like you feel like bedridden, you don't want to do anything and stuff. But it's like, it is so hard to find that energy. Like for me, depression is like, it's not just a mental thing. I feel like it's a physical thing as well. I mean, I'm a heavy girl, so it could possibly, you know, be due to heaviness. But when I'm depressed and I don't feel like moving, even if I pull myself out of bed, you know, like my legs, my arms, like everything, it feels achy. You know, your joints, when it feels like it's tick-tocking, basically. You know, that could probably just be me and my old woman joints. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. But yeah, depression is like a physical thing to me as well. So, I don't know. It's not to say, like, I don't want to make friends and I don't want to bond with people and I don't want to associate myself with people. I'm just, in general, a quiet person, and anxiety is just a real thing in my life right now. It is a real thing in my life right now, and I just have to live with it, and that's it. Well, not live with it, I mean, I'm sure, you know, there are things. Oh, and this is another thing, like, I don't understand, like, you know, I'm sorry. Like, depression and anxiety and like all of those mental conditions, they're like serious conditions, right? And you know, it could lead to people committing suicide. So you understand, like, therapy is so expensive. Therapy is so expensive. Like, each session, like, to go to a therapy session is so expensive. I get it, like, it's a service and stuff. I just kind of find it messed up, like how, you know, you have to pay so much for therapy, and it's like, if you don't get the therapy or you don't get the help, then you could possibly commit suicide. But it's like, I feel like to a person that's depressed and that probably, you know, can't think of any other options but therapy, you know, and you can't afford it, that would just be another jab to the I should commit suicide, you know, tactic. Because it's like, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm at this point, and I've heard or I've been told that when you reach that point, you should go and seek medical help, like therapy. But it's like, I go and seek therapy, but I can't afford it. So it's either I'm going to put myself in debt that I might not be able to keep up with and put me right back into depression, or I just not go and suffer. It's a society we're living in, a lot of social pressure on us, I guess. You have to look a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, you have to walk a certain way, you have to eat a certain way to look a certain way. Like, you have to do so many things to be a certain type of person to be acceptable, to society. And that's why, like, it's important to really not care what society thinks of you. But for the people that suffer from anxiety and depression, that's not that easy. So people are probably thinking like,
oh, well, all of this just sounds like it can be solved by not caring what people think.
Well, sis, let me tell you, it's not that easy to not care about what people think. It just like that doesn't happen. But like, if you are going through depression, anxiety, you should really go look for help. I feel like, for me personally, going through it, the thing that I think the best thing that I do to help myself is to distance myself from people, which is probably not a good idea. Because I think of myself as a strong-minded person sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, okay? I can listen to music and like instill positivity back in me, and then I can pull away from depression. But the bad thing about pulling away from people is that when you're alone, that's when those thoughts really start to strike you. That's when them thoughts really start to put them punches. That's when they start to come hard. Like, what went from like, oh, this shirt looks so tight. Why did, like, this shirt looks super tight on me? That'll go to, damn, like, I'm so ugly, I'm so this. You know what I mean? Like, it'll just go so severe, and you'll start thinking, like, I don't know about y'all, but I start thinking like 5,000 years ahead of me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I start thinking about 5,000 years, later. Like, I be thinking like, I won't find a husband because I'm too fat. I won't do this because, whatever. Like, depression is a real thing. Like, it really is something. Like, some people think, like, some people tell themselves, I shouldn't even say some people, because I used to think the same thing as well. Like, you think like, okay, if I just go through life, whatever, it'll get better someday. Let me tell you something. I've been dealing with depression from the time, I think, in my late high school years, probably before that, I don't know, but it has not gone away yet. To say that it's gotten better, I don't think so. I feel like I've disconnected from it in generally, and I don't feel like that's a good thing, to be honest. Like, I would rather, I don't even know. I'm disconnected from it, so it doesn't really bother me anymore. Like, for me, it's like, whatever happens. If, whatever goes south, goes south. You can't control this life, but this life can control you. You know what I mean? But, yeah. You just gotta take it as it comes and hope for the best. Do not take my advice on that. Seek help, that's what medical people, that's what medical professionals tell you to do. Go seek help, instill positivity, get moving, stay energetic. I think it also has to do with how, I don't want to say burdens, but I think it has to do with like expectations as well. Because let's say you could be a 17-year-old and thinking like, dang, I want to be, let's say like, I want to be let's say I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a surgeon, I want to be whatever, high, big job that people normally just be thinking about. Like, I want to be one of those. And you might be looking around you like you don't see how it's gonna happen, or you look into it and you're thinking like, this is gonna take so long. You're probably thinking to yourself like, how is this gonna happen? How long is gonna take me? You know, where am I gonna find the funds? You start to do it and you're thinking like, man, this is so much work, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to go do something different. And at the same time, you know, you think, well, I can't just change my mind, I've already invested as well. So it's like, it's so much factors that play into it, and it's like you just don't want to do it anymore. That can lead to depression as well, because, you know, that's kind of like, that's one of the, how can I say, the feelings of depression, like the losing the will to do things, and all of that pressure, all of that can, like, you know, it builds into that. It builds into that. It builds into like you not wanting to do things. Like, you might go from wanting to go to university to become a surgeon to, shoot, scrap it, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like, start to regret your decision. Like, man, I wish I had stuck it out in uni. It wasn't that bad. I was just going through a little tough spot. I should have pulled through, you know. And then for some people, it's like real hard factors that really do push you out of, you know, out of achieving the stuff that you want to achieve. Like, you know, maybe you could have went financially wrong during university to become that surgeon, and you had to like drop out, and you have to work that 9-to-5 job. Well, not a 9-to-5 job, because like you'd have to do a lot more hours. You'd have to do some heavy shifts, and the whole time you're thinking like, you know, you tired, you literally just finding the will to get up out of bed and go to work and come back. Like, you're not finding the will to do anything else. You're not finding the will to be excited, to plan towards those goals anymore. You don't have the will to even dream anymore. You know what I mean? So those kind of things can play into, like, it could be the simple things. If you just worrying too much and just stressing yourself out and just dropping out for not really a good reason and regretting it. And then you have the people that actually do drop out because it just couldn't. It just couldn't happen at the time. You know, it just couldn't happen at the time. And the important thing is to, like, if you want to achieve something, you just don't give up. Like, I know some people say like, oh, it could just not be for you. You know, you should accept the thing that's working out in your life. I don't entirely agree with that. Yes, I believe that if you're somewhat happy in a different field, let's say, if you're somewhat happy in a different aspect or something, you know, something that you're doing currently right now, then yeah, maybe you should just stick to that happiness and just build on top of that happiness if it's gonna, you know, if the end result is still gonna give you the same amount of happiness. But if you know in your heart, in your brain, that it will not get you to the same happiness as that big goal that you're trying to achieve, then, you know, it's not really, then no, you know, it's not for the best. In that case, I don't think it's for the best. I think in that case, yes, you know, you should take the time out to catch yourself, you know, and, you know, do what you have to do to set up yourself to continue reaching that goal. That's all it is. Like, if you deviate from your track, from your path a little bit, you know, you can. It's fine to take a breather and just jump right back into it. But you just have to be careful of how you take that breather, because sometimes if you financially can't afford to continue, you know, going, you know, I could understand why you would drop out. But if you possibly could, like, scrape together at least to finish that year, after you finish that year, boom, that could be a break, because then you could take a gap year. That's just one of the reasons why I'm not as sensitive to the depression stuff anymore, because, you know, I always tell myself, like, you know, stuff happens. If it happens, it happens. I can't go back and I can't change it. I could be angry about it. I could call myself stupid for it. Well, I do, I do that a lot. But I can't go back and change that. It's the past. If I could go back and change it, shoot. You know how much things I'd change? Like, shoot. I'd go back and redo. But I can't. Hello! Yeah, I just believe in trying to stay positive no matter what. Sometimes I might not look it. Sometimes I might not feel it. But I'll still do it because eventually it will work. But that doesn't work for everybody. So that's fine. I like music though. Like, I listen to all kind of music. Like, music is my saving grace. Like, when I tell people music is my saving grace, they look at me like I'm crazy. Or some of them be like, oh yeah, man, I fall into music too, man. I'm like, I know, like, it's so therapeutic. Like, that's therapy right there. That's what I call therapy. This ends this video. I have a lot of editing. I have a lot of editing. Yes, I have a lot of editing to do. It was just too much. I don't know. It was too much. Look at the bags under my eyes. My gosh. So hopefully this video won't be so bad. But I'll try my best. Thank you for watching this video. On a final note, I just want to say, like, if you're going through depression, anxiety, don't let people, tell you like, oh, just get over it, it's not that hard, or you making a big deal out of nothing. Like, listen, it's your life, it's your feelings, it's your brain, it's your heart. I would love to say, you know yourself better than other people do, but in a lot of cases, there might be a person out there that knows you better than you know what I mean? But when you're feeling something, you know yourself better than anybody, okay? Don't let nobody tell you, say it's just something you could pull yourself out of. It's not that easy. You take your time and you heal the right way, because you rush these things and you could just throw yourself deeper into, the waters and stuff like that. So you take your time and you heal, okay? And you heal however best you know how to heal. Because, like I said, it's your life. Ain't nobody gonna live through that suffering, that pain for you. And people gonna look at you like you over-exaggerating, but guess what? It's you, your life, your heart, your brain.
Preach it, sister.
Screw them.
Let them know.
Thank you guys for watching this video, and tune in to the next one. Okay? Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Young money right here, throw it up, no height here. Cold like a white beer, pretty cool, I'm a rap bitch, nightmare. And I'm rich, I can buy you. Kill bitches, leave their body in a bayou. More brains than an IQ, more head than a drug. Mario, and my bank account ain't hardly empty. That's why I come through in a Barbie Bentley. So please, mama, please no envy. When you come around, it leaves no entry. Who's next to go?
On a final note, I just want to say as well, you were given a mouth to speak, you were given eyes to see, you were given ears to hear. Okay? So you can make your own decisions. It might not be the right decision, it might not be the best decision, but in the end, it's still going to be your decision. Just make sure you use, these features that you are blessed with to make an informed decision. That is all. And also, you are not alone.